It doesn't sound real to say, but we are literally 50% done with CONCACAF World Cup qualifying already, because that's how fast this round is. Yesterday was the conclusion of match day 3. This video is going to be giving my thoughts about everything that went down in match day 3 and maybe a couple tiny predictions of match day 4. But we're at the halfway point, y'all. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And there's so much to play for. So much happened in match day 3. So I'm going to be recapping everything in this video. You guys in the comments, I would like you to drop your number one takeaway. What did you learn from anybody? What did you learn about your national team? What did you learn about a group? What have you learned about CONCACAF overall? Is the Caribbean back? Is Central America down bad? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos about CONCACAF here on the channel, make sure you subscribe, man, because I'm going to be back after match day 4 recapping everything that went down. Maybe I'll do a group-by-group analysis. Maybe I'll do a team-by-team analysis. I don't know. You guys let me know what you would want to see down below in the comments. And if you want to help support the channel in other ways, you can subscribe to the Patreon. I'll be uploading more and more exclusive content on there, little kind of one-off videos that might not be best suited for the YouTube channel. Without further ado, we're going to start with Group A and go in order here, guys. So as things stand after match day 3, Suriname in first place on 5 points. Panama are in second, also on 5 points, but the Surinamese have one more goal scored, so that's why they're in first right now. El Salvador in third place on 3 points, and Guatemala in last on 2 points after their 1-1 draw with Suriname, and that is actually going to be what we start this entire video discussing. Suriname had possession in this game, but they didn't really do a lot with it, and this is why I thought it was going to be a draw, because I don't rate Suriname's ability to break down low blocks. I don't, because usually they are the low block. And the tables have now turned because, well, they have expectation now. You guys have gone and recruited a bunch of European players. You got 3 new guys in the team every single window. Welcome to increased expectation. You're not going to be able to be the minnow team that just sits back and absorbs pressure every game. Eventually, y'all going to have to go for it. And this was how this game ended up going down. Guatemala were willing to sit back and concede possession, and Suriname couldn't really do anything with it. There was a couple good crosses, a couple good dribbles. Suriname are technically a very gifted team, but they need more reps being the offensive side. They need more reps being the instigator. It's clearly not there. There's some chemistry issues as well. Positive things to build on for Suriname, but they're still not the finished product. 14 shots in this game, 0.46 XG. I think that sums up perfectly their struggles in the final third. And this team needs goals. If there's one thing that is holding the team back, it's goals. It's a striker. I thought that J. Roy Grot, who came in and started, I didn't see anything, y'all. Big body, looks like a solid physical specimen. But in terms of like a footballer, in terms of a game changer, in terms of a goal scorer, most importantly, I didn't really see anything. Geraldo Becker was okay in this game, a bit wasteful. I felt like Margaret. Apparently it's not Margaret, it is Margaret. At least that's how the announcers say. This guy is such a beast. His talent level is crazy, and I think his ceiling is really high, but he's got to improve his decision-making. Makes a couple really, really poor decisions in the final third that otherwise could have resulted in a good attack for Suriname, but he's the real deal. Shaquille Panas was good, but then he made the error, so that was kind of a comical performance. And the defense for Suriname is still really, really good because Guatemala are a tough team to defend against, and Suriname on those counters, for the most part, were able to neutralize Guatemala. Of course, they did eventually kind of get a goal sort of through a counterattack. It was more of like a defensive mistake that then they were able to capitalize on, but overall, I think it was a pretty good performance from Suriname if you had realistic expectations. For Guatemala, this team is full of dogs. I've been trying to tell everybody. I mean, the Guatemalans never forgot, but I feel like everybody else forgot because they lost El Salvador at home. And then everybody was saying like, oh, told you, Guatemala suck. There's no talent in this team. They're going to roll over and die. No, I think Luis Fernando Tena has this team drilled too well. This is a very cohesive unit. And they showed it once again. They were able to dig deep in hostile territory against Suriname. There was a lot of pressure at parts of this game, and they didn't fold until the very last moment. And that's why I felt like it was a pretty heartbreaking result for Guatemala overall. Hell of a game for Morales in the back. This guy's had 2 underrated performances in a row. Panama away and Suriname away, where he has been a stud. And speaking of those 2 games away, these are important points for Guatemala. They didn't lose in Panama. They didn't lose in Suriname. They have one more away day in the next game against El Salvador in a revenge game. And if they can get a draw in that game, like I think they will get a draw in that game, then, I mean, at least their destiny is kind of in their hands with 2 home games. Albeit 2 really tough home games, but this was a big point for Guatemala. It could have been a massive 3 points, but football is really unfair like that. Panama beat El Salvador 1-0, and this was an ugly, very physical, scrappy victory, but incredibly important for Panama because this allowed them to keep pace with Suriname in the group, with now a home game against Suriname as the next match, which I cannot wait for. I wasn't planning on going live for that game. I might have to switch up the schedule and go live for it. We're just going to have to see how I feel after the triple header streams that I have later today. Fun fact here, this was the first time that Panama were outshot in a game since Mexico in the Nations League final. That's pretty crazy. Since then, in every single game, Panama has outshot their opponent, and they have a higher XG than their opponent in every game since the Nations League final until this one against El Salvador. And let me not go on a super long tangent here, but does that sound like a team that's cheating? Does that sound like a team that's robbing their way to results? Sounds like a team that should be winning more games than they are, if you ask me. But hey, I'm just the Panama simp. You guys know something that I don't. Panama's bought all the referees. They bought all the VAR teams. It is what it is. I think that this is indicative of Thomas Christensen's strategy working. Just sometimes the players aren't able to step up. Speaking of players, Coco Carrasquilla, he's so good. It's unbelievable how good this guy. He dominated El Salvador by himself. That was one of the best midfield performances I've seen in qualifying, in an away game in CONCACAF qualifying, in a very long time. He was way better against El Salvador than he was against Suriname away. It was a man-of-the-match performance. I don't know who ended up winning man of the match for Panama actually in this game. Maybe Mosquera for the late save. I don't know. But if Carrasquilla is out of Panama, they don't even drop one level. They drop 10. El Salvador themselves, this one stings because it's 2 losses in a row now at home, and they have their final home game next week against Guatemala. If that is not a victory, they're done. It's as simple as that. I feel like they played okay in this game. Like their strategy was good. They, didn't concede a ton of great Panamanian chances, and they generated 1 or 2 of their own and just weren't able to get it done. But my God, these guys foul like crazy. Dude, El Salvador are literally a UFC team, man. They're just bringing you down. They're hacking and slashing left and right. I don't really know how disappointed you can be with El Salvador's performance because, y'all, they're not a good team. This team is not very good. The best and most talented players they have are all pretty young, so it's unfair to expect them to just carry El Salvador to relevance. I thought it was a respectable defeat. A lot of people will talk about the Brian Hill goal that was chalked off for the foul on Christian Martinez in the build-up. I will admit, it's a very harsh call. But is that why El Salvador didn't win this game? No, it's not. I mean, there was a pen. And again, I'm trying to not go off on this, but everybody's talking about the ref. Like, Panama didn't have a penalty that was chalked off by VAR. So if the VAR is corrupt, wouldn't they have given Panama that penalty? For me, there's a foul on Carrasquilla in the second half. That is a penalty. Not only does the ref not call it, VAR doesn't even look at it. So there's 2 cases in which either a penalty was overturned or there was a really strong penalty appeal and it wasn't looked at, yet the ref is the reason he threw the game. I don't understand the logic here. Like, if you're going to run with that narrative, if that's going to be your cope of why Panama won, then it needs to be consistent throughout the 90 minutes. Also, El Salvador is lucky nobody got a red. So I'm sorry, be better than that. Don't just blame the referee for everything that happened here. The team's just not that great. So unless they perform offensively to peak efficiency, they're going to lose games. The talent of this team is the limitation. It's not the Panamanian FA buying the referees. Overall, though, Group A looks incredible. Suriname versus Panama next. Like I said, just wow. I mean, this is everything. This is such a huge game. And Guatemala visiting El Salvador, seeking revenge. If El Salvador do the double on Guatemala, emergency video. If Suriname beat Panama, emergency video. There's going to be videos on the channel no matter what. Hit subscribe. Let's move on to Group B now. We have Curacao in first place on 7 points. Jamaica in second on 6. Trinidad in third with 4 points. And poor Bermuda still don't have anything. 10 goals conceded through 3 games. But, man, they got pretty nice pink jerseys that I enjoy. And I think the football is relatively enjoyable. But Curacao 2, Jamaica 0 is the big one here. Everyone said this is a massive upset. Is it? Is it a massive upset? So sometimes y'all got to pick the narrative that you want to believe in, but you got to stay consistent. Because if Jamaica are frauds, which they might be frauds, often they are fraudulent, and Curacao is everybody's new darling princess Cinderella dark horse team that's underrated, then is Curacao beating a fraudulent side 2-0 at home a massive upset? Maybe it's the superlative. The word massive bothers me. It's not a massive upset. How is this a massive upset? Jamaica just got grouped at the Gold Cup. This is not a team that wins trophies. This is not a team known for overachieving. This is not a team known for achieving even to mediocre standards. So how is this a massive upset? It's a big win. It might be a somewhat of an upset, but I think that's a little insulting to Curacao. Like, again, either Curacao are good, in which case they should have expected to win this game, or they suck, and this is a huge upset. You let me know in the comments which one you would like to adopt. For Curacao, this game is the first big win that they've had since they killed Haiti right before the Gold Cup. That looked like an outlier. Now this Jamaica game is kind of showing that, no, this is actually the potential of this team. And I think this is the potential of Curacao. The reason that I had a 1-1 draw in this game is because Curacao, kind of similar to Suriname, don't have a 9 and they don't really have goals. But then you have guys in the midfield, Comenencia, stepping up and scoring one. And that's really going to be when Curacao are terrifying. If you're getting goals from the midfield, from either the Bacuna, from Lacodia, from Comenencia, if any of those guys are chipping in goals, watch out. Curacao, they're going to be freaking terrifying. No one's going to want to play them. They're going to be a really, really tough team. It's going to be the same team that beat up Canada at the Gold Cup. But they couldn't win that game against Canada because the goals weren't there. If the goals are there, and really you can copy and paste everything I'm saying for Suriname as well. If the goals are there, Curacao is an extremely difficult team to take down. It also helped that Room made some big saves, man. I mean, he had a couple big saves against Trinidad as well. He had 6 saves total in this match, so that certainly helped Curacao, get the 3 points in this game. For Jamaica, a loss here is pretty bad. I think a draw, and maybe delusional Reggae Boys fans would have been furious. I think that would have been fair because I do rate Curacao, so I think a point would have been actually a pretty good result for Jamaica, but taking 0 here and now falling to second is not okay. And I have to say, I love Andre Blake a lot. I've defended this man for years. But the first goal from Curacao, I don't know if it's the camera angle limitations in the Curacao Stadium because they really only have like one camera there. But I don't understand why Andre Blake didn't dive for it. I felt like it was a totally savable thing. I hate to criticize Blake like that, but it definitely looked like he could have done better. Overall, the first half wasn't super good for Jamaica. I think they were the better side in the second half. There's one miss in this game from Jonathan Russell. I think that actually was at the end of the first half. That'll give you heart pain. I mean, it was a terrible miss. It should have been a 1-1 equalizer, easy for Jamaica, but he just completely scuffs the shot and then it gets cleared off the goal line. So are Jamaica cursed? Yes. Are they incredibly well functioning as a team? No. Does that play into them dropping points here? Kind of. I think we all felt like Jamaica were going to drop something in this group. Everybody thought Jamaica was going to lose one game in this group. It was either Trinidad away or it was Curacao away. Well, guess what? I guess it was Curacao away. And they still got Curacao back in Jamaica too. That's not a guaranteed dub for the Reggae Boys. And advantage Curacao right now. Advantage Curacao. Curacao have, I guess, the tougher remaining game in this window with a home game against Trinidad. Oh, grab the freaking popcorn, man. Again, I might have to find a way to go live for that game too. I mean, I'm definitely going to be watching it. I don't know if I'll go live because I might not have the strength, but I digress. Trinidad 3, Bermuda 0. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch the game. I don't really want to talk about this because I didn't witness it with my own eyes. Trinidad should have won. Trinidad did win. Shout out to Trinidad. Bermuda not getting a goal at home in this game is disappointing. Shout out my guy, Dante Seeley, for getting one of my favorite Trinidad players right now. Group C, we have Haiti in first place on 5 points. Honduras are joint top and second, also on 5 points, but with 4 fewer goals scored. They haven't conceded yet, though, so we'll just bookmark that for the Honduras-Haiti game next Tuesday. Costa Rica in third on 3 points, 3 draws from their games so far, and Nicaragua at the bottom now, just a single point. And we'll start with the Haiti 3-0 victory away in Nicaragua. This is the firepower that Haiti could have every single game. Haiti are a terrifying side to play because offensively they're just so much better than a Curacao. They're so much better than a Trinidad even. I would say they're better than Jamaica on most days. Not more talented, but they play better than Jamaica going forward. And when they're scoring goals like this for fun, this is consecutive games of 3 goals scored. you got to be looking at Honduras and say, I hope you guys are showing up with a good defensive performance in Tegucigalpa, or I think it's going to get ugly. Another goal for Tucson. He's in peak form right now. Lucius and Jacques also got the other 2 goals for Haiti. Bellegarde got his first goal involvement since committing to the Haitian national team. You got a clean sheet if you're Haiti away from home. You're now in first place. You're unbeaten in your 2 away games so far in qualifying. This is exactly where you want to be if you are the Haitian national team. And your last away game is coming up. Honduras in Tegucigalpa next week. If you can also get points in that game, then your final 2 ones are, of course, in neutral territory, but you got to be feeling good. And it completely sucks Haiti can't play at home. Because if they had home field advantage, even a modicum of that in this group, you got to feel like right now they're the strong favorites to directly qualify to the World Cup. Nicaragua, I mean, look, nobody should have really expected anything from these guys in this round at all. I think the fact that they got a point already, as far as I'm concerned, and this might be offensive to say, is job well done. Mission complete, mission accomplished, eyes ahead to 2030. Like, there's no world in which these guys should really be pushing for anything. And I think if you look at the last part of the Haiti game, it looked like morale was shot. It looked like after, the good vibes of the Costa Rican draw at home, it looked like it evaporated. And so I'm not really expecting anything from Nicaragua going forward. Maybe they get another point here or there to put respect on themselves, but I think they already did. That's my point. I think they already did. Honduras 0, Costa Rica 0. Officially the worst game of qualifying. Brutal spectacle. I feel bad for everybody who was joining me on the live watch along for this game. It was terrible. And nothing happened in this game until late in the match, where Costa Rica, after not doing anything for 80 minutes basically, had 2 or 3 really good chances to potentially win the game. For Honduras, they produced absolutely nothing. And this team has no goals, like none at all. And I apologize for predicting that Honduras were going to score 2 goals in this game. I should be better than that. I should know that that is completely unrealistic. I will not be doing that again unless the opponent is far inferior to Costa Rica. I think we're looking at like 1 goal max from Honduras in the rest of the games going forward. I really do. The crowd was dead. This team has no attacking midfielder. Kyoto was trash. Luis Palma had 1 good pass the entire game, otherwise got pocketed. Benguche, you might as well be playing with a man down. Arboleda, his replacement, is arguably worse, and that's pretty shocking to say, but it is the truth. And not only was this a missed opportunity to take first place in the group, but they got lucky at the end that Zamora's shot hits the post. Like, they almost fumbled this. Straight up fumble, like a dud game, nothing happening, no positive takeaways outside of maybe Debbie Flores was a beast, Arriaga was pretty good in the midfield, and you almost lost. The post saved Honduras in this game. Not really a good performance, not really any positive takeaways outside of that. For the Haiti game coming up at home, they cannot lose. If they lose, they're cooked. I think it's as simple as that. For Costa Rica, this was a pretty big result, not in the sense that they got a point, in the sense that it was so comfortable. I've called out Piojo a lot. I've called out the Costa Rican defense a lot. They were unbothered, y'all. 90 minutes of nap time. That's what happened in this game. For as fragile as they looked, even against Nicaragua last window, they stepped up here. And Watson, 37-year-old in the back, man of the match. This guy was pocketing, blocking, slide tackling, clearing everything, dude. Incredible, the performance that this guy put in as damn near a 40-year-old. It's him and Navas in the back. Costa Rica is now going for like the oldest starting 11 age right now. Well, that's actually not true. They have a lot of young guys, but maybe just in the back line. I don't know how old Gamboa is. I'd have to look that up. And my other talking point for Costa Rica is Josimar Alcocer is an animal, and he should have had an assist in this game. He is becoming the most important player to the Costa Rican attack. I think he is more important than Alonso Martinez and Ugalde because he's the one usually feeding those guys their opportunities. And he's getting better and better out wide. I really think if you want to talk about, mini narrative, Luis Palma versus Alcocer, I'm taking Alcocer right now, both for a club and country. I think he's just getting better and better. I think Palma has upped his level for Lech Poznan this year after being irrelevant at club level last year. Alcocer was also irrelevant last year. But Alcocer looks like he's going to be one of the best wingers in CONCACAF going forward. The left wing position, Luis Palma, Margaret, Alcocer, there's some really, really exciting. I mean, Oscar Santis can play left wing, though he's typically on the right. There's some pretty nice talent popping up all over the place at the left wing of CONCACAF right now. I think we're in a good place, y'all. Now Costa Rica have Nicaragua at home, and I'll keep it short. It must be a decisive victory for Costa Rica. There's no excuse to drop points here. None at all. I don't care about emissions. I don't care about rain. I don't care about whatever. I don't care about Piojo. I don't care about food poisoning in the locker room. You have to win this game, and that's what I'm predicting to happen. But anyways, guys, that is my rapid-fire recap for everything that happened in Match Day 3. I will be back with more fleshed-out thoughts. Maybe I'll break it up group by group going forward. So if you want to see that and other CONCACAF content here on the channel, including future watch-alongs, make sure you're subscribed. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.